the button. Now you gotta tap the button. Yep.
Welcome, everyone. This is the September meeting of the Cedar Field Residents Council. Glad to have everybody here on this lovely day. Nancy, what would you do our invitation?
I have a thought for the day, and it comes from the best dog on earth, Snoopy. He says, 9 out of 10 times when I lose something, I put it in a safe place and forgot where I put it. Let's pray. Dear God, we are thankful for this day and grateful for the rain. We pray for all who are in the path of the Hurricane Helen, and please keep them safe. We wish peace in our country and in the world. Bless our home Cedar Field and all who take care of us. This is the day the Lord has raised us to rejoice in it. Thank you.
How many people here put things in places where you'll never forget them? Also, Amy Chapman?
Thank you. I'd have to say, I think I have a dog at home who might disagree and say that she's the best dog in the world. I have two, actually, yes. Some announcements to share with the group. Occupancy, we are at 94% occupied in independent living. We have new residents moving in within the next few months. 3 new families will move in or have moved in already in September. 3 are prepared to move in October. And if all goes as planned, we have 5 scheduled move-ins for the month of November. Even December is picking up with 2 residents who have agreed to move in during that busy month. The fall has been a busy time for our marketing department. They'll also be having an upcoming event for potential residents in the month of October on the 17th. Clinic renovations are underway and progressing nicely. The early focus of the renovations is on relocating our dental office that will be in assisted living. The clinic has also done a fantastic job moving their operations to their temporary home in apartments 472 and 473. Everything is on schedule right now, and we anticipate getting the clinic back online the week before Thanksgiving. Faster than most of our other projects. Our EIFS and window replacement project is next. The project is moving along. We continue to work with James River Exteriors to make adjustments as they run into weather issues and delays surrounding engineering inspections. For those of you who have already had your windows replaced and EIFS addressed, thank you. You have made the future experience for other friends and neighbors here at Cedar Field a little smoother. We will continue to work with James River to ensure timely updates and notification of schedule changes. Medicare number. By now, I hope everyone has heard that we finally received our Medicare number, and on September 1st, we began offering skilled services to our own residents who qualified. We currently have actually 5 in Poppy Place receiving these skilled care services. Things have been going extremely well, and our team had a long time to prepare, and it shows. If you find yourself in the hospital for more than 3 days and you have a qualifying stay, please consider utilizing your Medicare benefits in our rehab household, Poppy Place. If this is the case, a team member at Cedar Field will work with you, your family member, and the hospital discharge planner to navigate the system and ensure that you get the services that you need. Traffic light update. I have learned recently that our traffic signal installation has been put on a slight hold. Surprise. Sources have made us aware that the light post and the anchor to hold the light post did not have the same bolt pattern to secure the pole. We have been told by the county that the delay will end in October, and we should have a light by the end of October. More to come on that, and I will keep you posted. Any questions for me?
What is the status of 971, channel 971?
Are you not getting channel 971? So what I have learned recently after visiting a resident in assisted living is that if you have received a new Comcast or Verizon box, it is no longer programmed to get channels that are in-house. So it might be that you have a box issue. We have kept old boxes so that if you're having problems with yours, you won't necessarily have to get a new one. Have you called in a work order for it?
Well, I think it goes beyond that. That's the channel where you can receive the live
Right.
programming, but nobody can get it.
Okay, and it might be a box issue from the box that you're using to get cable TV, and I'll make sure that someone comes and sees to make sure that you're getting the reception you need.
Does anybody get it again?
So the only person I know who isn't getting it right now is an assisted living resident who bought a new TV, and because of the new TV, he received a new box. So that's what we're looking into. So let us look at your box and see if that's the problem. I will be next month at a conference out of town, and we'll be meeting with vendors about upgrading that system to ensure that once all of the old boxes are not used anymore, that we'll still be able to get in-house TV stations.
Is that a live streaming question? Yes.
Oh, you're talking about live streaming. Okay, thank you for clarifying. So live streaming update. So when we did the renovation in the fellowship hall, we worked with a company by the name of Progressive AV. They have worked with Comcast about the connection for live streaming and have determined now that the issue belongs to the contractor, not through Comcast. They will be on site on Friday to reevaluate. They know where the problem is. They just have to figure out how to fix it. Once it's fixed, we should be able to have live streaming again. Thank you for that clarification. Any other questions?
I don't think the food channels come through online.
You're not getting the food channel.
What is it, 974, 973?
974 is just the regular access channel. Is anybody else having issues with their food channel?
I don't get that anymore.
Okay. It might be something as simple as your remote isn't programmed for that channel. We'll have someone come by and look at it, Ms. Wimbush. All right, thank you.
Everyone should have seen the minutes by now. Do we have any additions or corrections to the minutes?
Move the minutes be adopted.
It's been moved that the minutes be adopted. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I'm going to share something with you today, and for a lot of you, it will be preaching to the choir, and I apologize for that. But we have some new people. This is the information from the new Residents Handbook describing exactly what we here in the Residents Council are and do. And I'd like to share that with you. The Resident Association at Cedarfield is made up of all community residents who live in an apartment, a cottage, or any section of health services. The association provides a forum for making suggestions to administration. The Residents Council represents all members of the association. The Residents Council, that's what's here today, the meeting, represents all members of the association. The resident council officers are the resident council, the president-elect, the secretary-elect, and the past president. There are 13 committees. The committees are communication, dining, environment, facilities, finance, flower guild, gardening, health services, library, religious life, safety, welcome, and wellness and leisure. Those 13 committees most of them meet once a month or at least quarterly. There are probably 8 to 10 or more people that are familiar with that particular service that committee provides. There is an administration person that attends each of the committee meetings, and Amy attends most of those meetings. Those people, there are doctors on the health committee, there are engineers on the facilities committee, there are florists on the flower guild, are very familiar with what it is and a lot smarter than I am in trying to deal with those kind of issues. I'm going to leave you here this afternoon when you leave a list of those committees and who the contact people are for those committees. Should you be interested in joining the committee, or should you have a question that committee could deal with as a suggestion? Also, we'll be giving those to your area reps at a meeting on next Monday. In addition to the committees, there are 23 area representatives who are here to welcome you, to inform you, to provide you minutes and other things, and to include you in activities that those areas may be having. The council purposes are to to communicate with the administration on issues and provide for the general welfare, comfort, and quality of life for all residents living in Cedarfield. Provide a means of communication among residents and with administration of Cedarfield. To serve as a vehicle for residents' concerns and suggestions. It can recommend but cannot make operational policies and decisions. To provide through the council to the administration of Cedarfield in developing long-range plans for Cedarfield. The association cannot make or control policies affecting Cedarfield. However, it may participate with the administration of Cedarfield upon request in developing such policies. Basically, we are a group that makes recommendations to the administration. We have some of those recommendations come at the committee meetings. Others, as you will see today, are larger and need changes in policy, and they will become before this committee to be voted on before they're delivered to administration. This is all in your residence handbook, but are there any questions that I might answer for you today, or maybe with Charlene's help?
Frank, I'd just like to ask something. Those of you who know me know I've stood up sometimes and said, I go to the residence council and I never see any new business and I never see any old business. How can an association exist that doesn't do any business? And then I became president-elect and I go to 13 committee meetings and I see those committees with 8 or 10 people on them and a representative from administration or from the department that's responsible for that, and Amy, and so that committee takes your concerns directly to the people who can do something about them. So you have over 100 people working on your behalf through those committees and with administration to get problems where they need to go to immediately without having to come back here and go through a month or 2 month process. So when you get a call and get asked to serve on a committee, think about that's your way to have direct input into your life and what happens at Cedarfield. So I hope the next time you say, oh, no, I'm not going to do that, you might stop and say, yeah, I'd like to find out more about how it all happens here and how we can have an effect on it. So think about serving when we call you, if you would. It's a great way. And you have 100 people through those committees working on your behalf.
Thank you, Charlene. Charlene Heatwell is our Vice President-elect of the Residence Council. And with that done, no communications. Not yet. Not yet. I'm sorry, I always mix it up and I highlight them, so I wouldn't do that. Denise Bakula, the shop at 2300. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Sale, sale, sale. Who doesn't love a sale? Well, the shop at 2300 is having an end of the season sale going on starting on Monday, started past Monday. And to clear out things, because we have so much holiday goods to put out and we need room. So be sure to stop by and check out the bargains. Now I know on 974 it says our handbags are 20% off. 30% off. Come by and check it out. We've got 30% off all jewelry and up to 50% off on other items. And who knows, there may even be a pop-up special on sale, like maybe socks. For those of you who have come down to get ice cream and frozen foods, know that we have been without a freezer for a long time. We're finally getting a new one. And I would think that it will be here in 3 to 4 weeks. So be on the lookout for that. And that is thanks to Cedarfield, who took it upon themselves to put the new freezer in the shop. So, I want to thank everybody again for supporting the shop at 2300. I think we're getting really close to being able to turn proceeds over to some of the Cedarfield philanthropies. So be on the lookout. We'll announce that when it happens. We're getting there. Thank you all very much.
Charlotte Bailey, VACRA.
Good afternoon. The September VACRA program featured Catherine Henderson, bereavement coordinator with Affinity Care of Virginia. Catherine was a welcome guest and was glad to see so many old friends here at Cedarfield. She was a valued friend when she served as a chaplain here at Cedarfield. The presentation highlighted the importance of everyone having a medical directive and gave numerous resources in our area that could be helpful in having that conversation and making those decisions. Although end-of-life care is not a usual topic of conversation, it is one that everyone should have with family or a responsible person. In her work with families, it is not unusual for someone to talk about the regret of not having a conversation with the person before they passed. There are many resources for this kind of opportunity, and we have a list for anyone who would like one. We have plenty of these. This list was developed by Catherine for our use. What is the difference between palliative care and hospice? What qualifies a patient for service? Who makes the decision about the care? Must the patient be near end of life in order to receive the care? How do hospice and palliative care options fit into an overview of when and how to begin the conversation? This was an important but seldom talked about topic that all residents should think about and be prepared to discuss. VACRA will plan additional programs to help with such discussions. And do you remember a couple of years ago, we had honoring choices here? Anybody remember that discussion with honoring choices? After they made the presentation, we learned that many people wanted to have an individual meeting with a volunteer from Honoring Choices, and we arranged that for 21 residents to have that private conversation with a staff person from Honoring Choices. It was very effective. We are pleased to announce that our membership numbers continue to grow. At one time, we said we had 210, 212, then we lost a few members. Now we're back up to 210. That's great. We continue to need your help by encouraging residents, new and old, to think about joining us, to continue to provide the kinds of information you're interested in and need to have, and perhaps you might otherwise have access to that information. To continue to monitor what happens in the General Assembly and continue to work with the SCC, and to continue to encourage Pinnacle to accept a resident on their board, and to continue to promote, protect, empower, and better the lives of our residents. Any questions or comments about the yes?
Where on My Cedarfield would there be, or is there a copy of the presentation you just referenced?
Honoring Choices?
No, the hospice. Presentation, is that available on My Cedarfield, and if where,
I
under
don't
what
know.
category?
I don't know. Wait a minute. Yeah.
It was put on YouTube.
It was put on YouTube, I understand.
Well, I just understand it was put on YouTube, you know.
It will be, yeah. Most of the time it's loaded on YouTube. Once I put it on here, then they put it on the app cage and put it on the
We
app
can hear
drive.
what he
I'll
said.
repeat what he said. So once it's downloaded to YouTube, it's uploaded to the app. We just need to figure out where it was placed on the app, and we can find that out from Catron.
Oh, okay, I just, to be able to watch,
Yes.
I wasn't able to go.
Yeah, to watch Catherine's
Yes,
presentation. And I think she will return to us in a few months to further explore all of this. Any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you very much.
Amy, why don't you tell people how to get to that YouTube?
So all of the videos that are saved to the app, the My Cedarfield app, which is on your phone. If you need help uploading it to your phone or downloading the app to your phone, you can see Mariah and she'll help you do that. But each of the icons will help tell you where things are. And once we find out where it was saved, we'll make sure that that's something that everybody knows. Yes, Mr. Rose? Okay.
No.
We'll find out where it is, and we'll put something on channel 974 so that you know where to look for it on your app.
Thank you. Now, communications, Carol Knight.
Last week, at the showcase, these maps were distributed to those that were present. And we appreciate people who have made comments and suggestions in how it can be improved. In fact, some people were very good editors and found mistakes that we thought we had corrected a long time ago. I need your thoughts and suggestions by this Friday in box 258, and we will, this one was accurate, we thought, as of September 24. We'll have a new one hopefully by October, and if you give me your corrections, we'll see that they take place. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. That is a very large project that has been going on for some time. It's just great we're getting near the end. Dining, Jim Farrenholm.
Very short. 3 topics for today. First being capital projects. The clubhouse renovations have essentially been completed. Dick Sessoms, fellow resident and committee member, is the nitpicker and has 8 items or topics that need to be addressed before, quote, it's completed. But we are coming into the winning stage, and they should be completed shortly. You will note in our minutes that each of the 8 topics has been addressed by a Cedarfield manager who is on it. The second topic being cocktail lounge. There has been a subcommittee of 4 of our members gathered to see whether we can bring this topic to some sort of closure. You may recall that there was a dining survey last year. We had a total of 143 responses. 90 or 63% were positive of the roughly 37%. Roughly they were split between I don't give a hoot one way or the other, and the other half was totally opposed with drinking as an issue. The other topic, principal topic for the committee in its meeting was the report really from Neil that we have a new executive chef, which there's such excitement about it. You can almost feel it. The fellow's name is Seth Goulston. He had been banquet manager at the Jefferson Hotel, executive chef for FedEx, and a very short stint at Avery Point. And the reason it was short is because it was so impersonal. Essentially, he was given a menu and don't do anything with it, just stay on it. That was quite unappealing and of great interest to the committee interviewing. Probably one of the principal factors that got him over the line. The other item Neil shared with us was his reading of Destination Dining. Has been well received, and as some of you may know, the next destination is New Orleans. So we should look forward to that one. It's not yet a country, but it considers itself one. And probably should be. Are there any questions? Hearing none? Pass it back to you.
New executive chef in New Orleans. That sounds like something that should be measured in pounds. And Williams Facilities?
A number of projects have been completed since our last meeting. We've had lots of painting and refreshing going on. Third floor lounge, first floor C-wing hallway, the clubhouse, the atrium areas, floors 2, 3, and 4, and the EV charging station has been installed. There's one box that can accommodate 2 vehicles, and I'm hoping that James Hicks will put up a no parking sign except when you are charging your vehicles there. So that one's coming well along. Live streaming, Amy has already talked about. The cottage gutter guards are in process. The refresh program has almost caught up. There are 3 units still left from last year, but the responsibility for this has now changed. We had a team member in facilities working with it who's been out on sick leave for quite some time. It has now been transferred to Lori Andrews, who's working mostly with new people moving in, so this goes along with her responsibilities. Clinic renovations, Amy also talked about. The one thing she didn't mention is, my guess is we're gonna have a hard time getting those team members back down to their original space. They love the space, the openness, the airiness. We'll see what happens after Thanksgiving. EFAS, as Amy said, is underway. In the minutes, we indicate that it should stop work by about Thanksgiving and pick up again after the first of the year. Pay no attention to that. That is under discussion, and possibly some areas that would not particularly affect residents may continue during that time period. As with any renovation project or project of that kind, unforeseen issues come up, anything from rain where they can't get on the scaffolding to something interior, and it can adjust the schedule. So just as we had in all of our previous homes, renovation projects can get off schedule by what they find behind the scenes once they get in. My mother always taught me patience is a virtue. I have not learned the lesson very well, but the administration would appreciate it if we would demonstrate some degree of patience during this time. Signage is almost underway. The exterior wayfinding signs should be installed soon, so be on the lookout for those soon. Interior signs, the last I heard, we were waiting for Pinnacle's approval of the color, and Amy's nodding, so they must have approved.
And we sent a check to the deposit has been made.
And we think the check for the deposit has been made to the company. Yay. I moved here 4 years ago. Interior signage was under discussion then. Good things take a while. Sidewalk repairs, there was a contractor who has surveyed all of the sidewalks, has made its recommendations to the administration. James Hicks is now coming up with a plan of attack. Pool temperatures have been under discussion. The residents requested, and the administration is working on the following: having the lap pool be at 83 degrees, the therapy pool at 87 degrees, and the air temperature at 85. In the summertime, when the water coming into Cedar Field is hotter than those temperatures that we receive from the county just down the street, they won't be putting ice in the pool to decrease. So in the summertime, you may have temperatures above, but they're working to keep it cooler. Stephen Nelson worked with us from January through August, did a superb job moving things along. He has now left us, but he's still available by telephone. He did a wonderful job while he was here. The administration has hired James Hicks, who came to us directly as a project manager at the office complex where Pinnacle is living, but he has also done a stint at Goodwin House in Northern Virginia for 5.5 years, spent some time at Westminster Canterbury a number of years ago, so he knows and understands us old folks. D-Wing generator is complete except for a couple of teeny-tiny things. We don't yet have the paperwork from the county, but it is up and operational, so if anybody in D-Wing loses power, wait a minute, the generator will kick in. And then there's a piece of patching some asphalt or concrete, but that project started three years ago, and it's now complete. But with the D-Wing generator and the EVIS project, two major projects, led the committee to have a discussion about communicating with residents, and we have developed a recommendation for your consideration and vote. So voting members of the Residents' Council are all the area reps, the committee chairs, and the officers, and when you came in, you should have gotten a sheet that looks like this, that says guidelines. Anybody who's a voting member who did not get such a document? Could somebody, Sherilyn, the last I saw you, Sherilyn's going to get you one, John Rose. And basically what it says is Cedar Field is our home. And if we were in our old homes, we would not expect to open the door and find things hanging from the ceiling of the porch or little flags all over the property and not have any idea what these were all about. And those are minor things, but in D-Wing, all the residents, I'm going to say in July, were asked to vacate their apartments basically for a day. They were given a goodie bag, they could go to the clubhouse, they could have some meals, and surprise, surprise, they were allowed back in their units by lunchtime. And they and I thought, yay, the D-Wing generator project is over. And then every 10 days or so here would come another little small disruption, but another little disruption. So what we're hoping for is better, more timely, more complete communication with residents, and to do it in advance of the project. So a project, give advance notice of what the scope is, give a complete description of each phase of the project, proposed timetable, understanding that changes may happen with unforeseen things, updates with any changes, and if it's relatively minor, like the flags all over campus, I can't tell you how many people asked me what they were for, and I said, I don't know, but I'm guessing aeration and seeding, which is what it all had to do with. But that sort of thing would hold down the questions. You would know what's going on in your house, and something that small, a slide on 974, and it might encourage those of you who don't yet use 974 every morning to look. So on that note, anybody have any questions about anything I've gone to, and then we'll get to voting on this item? Any questions? Mr. President, on behalf of the Facilities Committee, I recommend adoption of the guidelines for communicating with residents about projects being carried out in and around their living areas.
We have a motion for the Facilities Committee. Do we have a second? We have a second. Questions, discussion? All right, that's it. Then we have a motion, a second. No questions? Will all in favor say aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Here you go, Ann. Thank you. Library, Sally Wood. Thank you.
Hi. Well, we had a big month, really a big work month for us, because we did something to put the balcony library online, which means so that you would check out your books and that we know what books are there. It was done mostly to keep track of books, and we are beginning to buy books. We've never had that luxury before. It's always been a donation. But what we've done in the balcony library is really try to get definitive works and not to have a Macy's of books. And it really, probably to me, was the hardest project we've had in the 2.5 years or so that I've been with the library. And I have to thank a lot of people: Marianne Fitzpatrick, Betty Lou and Bob Gillen, Jenny Hendren, Ted McCormick, Eleanor Washburn. And it took hours and hours of work. So now when you go into the balcony library, check out your books, just like you will downstairs. There's a pattern here. Check out your books. And I can't tell you how much time it saves the volunteers in trying to keep track of what books we own and where they are and where they are not. And I will ask you, we need small cocktail table books and something that we'll use around the building. They're not wordy books. These are books that people just sort of thumb through when they're resting a little bit or just bored. And every once in a while we have trouble with those books disappearing. I just wish they would stay put because they're valued by us. So that's it. And do you have any questions?
Thank you, Sally. Welcome, Wynn Coates and Pat Sullivan.
The Welcome Committee was pleased to host a cocktail hour and dinner last night to welcome residents who have moved to Cedarfield in June, July, and August. 16 people attended, including 11 new residents. Each was given an opportunity to introduce him or herself and to share any personal background that they thought would be of interest. We'll plan another welcome dinner probably the end of December to welcome the people that are moving in this fall. Thank you.
The Welcome Committee has started a new initiative we're calling Spread the Welcome. The idea is to encourage all residents, not just area reps and ambassadors, to possibly think of new ways in which they can welcome new residents to our community. Our rollout on 9/7/4 was the first week of September. This is our new logo for the program. I hope you've seen it. This will run for the first week of each month with a different suggestion. Of course, these are only suggestions, and you may think of something that works better for you and the new resident. If you do have an idea that has worked well, I hope you will send it to me so that I can include it in the program. Any questions, Rod?
Thank you. Wellness and Leisure, Nancy Springman.
Thank you, Frank. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about a program that we're starting here at Cedarfield called Healthy Sports in Motion. Functional Pathways physical therapy staff, with assistance from Cedarfield's wellness staff, will begin a program called Healthy Sports in Motion that's going to start on October the 3rd. The lead instructor will be Vlad, the physical therapist who is beloved by all the residents here at Cedarfield. So hopefully, if you all know that Vlad is going to be the main person involved in this program, that will give you the impetus to sign up. This program is designed to help seniors and those with movement disorders to feel more confident in their ability to complete tasks or achieve a goal. This program will be done using movement based in sports. So I don't want you to get the misconception that this is a program that's going to teach you to become a baseball player or a golfer. That is not the case at all. What it is, it's going to take movements that are utilized in sports and utilize them to help us with our balance, improve our posture, train the areas of the brain dealing with executive functions, improve our confidence, and increase feelings of self-efficacy. This program will run for 8 weeks, again, beginning on October the 3rd, and will cost $80. Please consider participating. Last year's participants found it very helpful. Last year, we had a different physical therapy company here at Cedar Field, and they did a program that was very similar to this. And as I said, the people who participated in the program found it very helpful. One of the participants who is on my committee told me that there is an exercise that she learned in that program that she still does every day. If you are interested in this program or would like more information, please contact Beth Travis in the Functional Pathways office. I think everybody knows where that is. You can also find her telephone number on my Cedar Field in the team member directory. Does anybody have any questions about this program or anything else in regard to the Wellness and Leisure Committee? Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? New business or old business?
I'm still in my rookie season as an area rep, and as I was coming in today, I was asked, why do we sign in? And could someone talk about that?
That's a good question. Most of the time when we sign in, it has to do with the volunteer. As a nonprofit organization, by having that information, it helps qualify us as a nonprofit organization. And the members of the Residents Council who are here are basically volunteering, but we have everybody sign in. Also voting members and quorum. Anything else? There was one thing I wanted to share with you. I don't know if many of you feel this way. I find that as I grow older, I more clearly remember things that never happened.
That's a good way.
Is there a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All in favor?